Hi everyone, and welcome back to another Fresh Look Friday. My name is Laura, and I'm going to share with you some young adult fiction books today. So all of these books are things that I would recommend if you really loved the book or the Netflix show Heartstopper. So I am a big fan of Heartstopper, the book. I devoured the first two volumes very, very quickly. It's just such a sweet, sweet love story, and I loved it. So I was very excited to do some research and find some books that are similar in lots of different ways to share with you. So I'm going to start with, most of these are newer books. This one is called A Tale of Two Princes. So what's unique about this one is that it's not a love story. There is some slight romance plot lines, but that's not the main point of this book. But it still has the same tone of Heartstopper. It's one of those books that gives your heart a hug, if that makes sense. So A Tale of Two Princes is about twins separated at birth. So our first twin is Edward. So he is the Crown Prince of Canada. So in this reality, the monarchy has been reestablished in Canada. And Edward is the crown prince. His parents are the king and queen currently, and he will become the king. So his whole life, he has been trained to do this. But he has a secret. His secret is that he is gay. And he knows that cannot work for the monarchy. He does not want Canada to lose their monarchy because he is gay. It just goes against so many rules and expectations. So he has not come out. He has not told his parents, and he has just decided that he is going to live the rest of his life in the closet, essentially. And then our other twin is Billy. He lives in Montana. He is out and proud. Everyone knows he is gay. He has a boyfriend. He's had that same boyfriend for about 2 years. He loves his life on the ranch. His father died a few years ago, and that has been very hard for him. But he and his little sister and his mom are making it work, and he just really loves his life. He's a senior in high school, and he has an excellent opportunity to audition for Juilliard because he loves playing the violin. So he ends up going to New York to audition for Juilliard. At the same time, Edward is going to a school in New York City. Through a series of circumstances, the two of them meet. They are identical twins. Obviously, this is upsetting for them, and they discover that they were separated at birth. And the biggest thing here, Billy from Montana is actually 2 minutes older than Edward. So he now actually becomes the Crown Prince of Canada, and he has to quickly learn how to do this. It's a great story about being closeted or coming out and what that means and how that affects you and the people around you. And it's just sweet, right? It's just sweet. The two of them are figuring out how to be brothers. Do they like each other? Do they not like each other? And trying to figure out what that means. A Tale of Two Princes. Then we have Donuts and Other Proclamations of Love. So if you like reading books about food, this is the book for you. I love foodie fiction, and this is one of my favorite books. It's about Oscar. He is being raised by his Swedish grandfather who owns a food truck. And Oscar loves cooking for the food truck. He just loves cooking in general. He has an independent study at school where he gets to spend a lot of time in the culinary lab, cooking and experimenting different foods for the food truck. Then Lou comes along, and she has decided, she's like A+ student, the star of the student body, she does everything right, and she wants to start this reducing food waste program because the school is wasting lots and lots of apples. So through this volunteer program, she snatches up Oscar and makes him participate. It's not something that he wants to do. He feels interrupted, and the two of them have to start working together. It's a really good, friends to lovers or enemies to lovers story. There's lots of foodie fiction, and the relationship between Oscar and his grandfather is superb. I just love every second of it. This book brought me to tears many, many times. It was another book that definitely hugs your heart. Donuts and Other Proclamations of Love. Next, we have Planning Perfect. This is about Felicity. She is a planner. She's super type A. She plans everything and she wants to be an event planner. She loses an election at school. That's very upsetting to her. And the same day she finds out that her mother and longtime boyfriend are getting married. And so she decides she is going to plan the perfect wedding for them because this is something she can put on resumes. And she finds out that a very famous event planner is going to be invited to this wedding. So if she does a good job, she can land an internship. So that is her solid one goal: plan the perfect wedding. And she's talking to her friend Nancy. And Nancy lives on an apple orchard, and she decides to offer this orchard as a wedding venue. So Felicity and her mom's fiance go spend the summer in this apple orchard to plan the wedding. Things don't go perfect, and that's very upsetting to Felicity. She's also on the asexual spectrum, so that's just a little, it's not really a plot point, but it is something that is in this book that kind of matters. It matters. It defines who she is and how she functions and how her relationship with Nancy changes and grows. Planning perfect. 6 times. We almost kissed. And 1 time we did. So this is about Penny and Tate. Penny and Tate's moms are best friends. And so Penny and Tate have grown up around each other, but they do not like each other. They are not friends. They avoid each other at school. They just don't interact, right? Penny's father died in a very, very traumatic incident, and Penny was there and witnessed it. And it is one scene in a book that it will take me a very, very long time to forget, if ever. It was very, very well done. Just the idea of grief in this book and how Penny handles it is a reason alone to read it. So Penny's father died, and Tate's mother is single. They've always just been Tate and her mom, but Tate's mom is very, very sick, very, very sick. And so Penny's mom, her best friend, decides to donate a liver. So that means the 4 of them are now all going to live together. Penny and Tate don't like this because they don't get along, even though their moms are best friends, and one mom is doing something amazing for this other mom. It's just very complicated. They have a lot of money issues, and the moms aren't paying attention, so the girls kind of have to figure that out and work together to kind of like make this situation work. It's a big will they, won't they? Do they like each other? Do they not like each other? Because they're really forced to work together here. This was definitely a heavier story than some of the other ones. It is heavier than Heartstopper. There is a lot of grief. There is some death, and it's something that is written very well and handled very well, but it also is balanced super well with this wonderful romantic plotline. 6 times we almost kissed, and the 1 time we did. And finally, The Long Run. Oh, I loved this book. It was so good. So The Long Run is by James Acker, and it's about Sebastian. His nickname is Bash the Flash because he's on the track team and he goes very, very fast. He is your epitome of a jock, dating all the girls. He's just, everyone loves Bash, right? And his mother died, so he lives with his stepfather, and he's just this all-American, everyone loves him. And then there's Sandro. Sandro is from a big Italian family. He feels kind of forgotten in his family. His parents are kind of paying attention to everybody else but him. And Sandro is gay. But he has not come out. He has not told anyone. His plan is to graduate from high school, go to college, and then live his best life. He's also on the track and field team, but he throws shot put. One time he is walking to a late night party and he sees Bash in his car, and he asks Bash for a ride, and the 2 of them start bonding and form this friendship, and they keep getting closer and closer. They're sharing things with each other that they've never shared with anybody else, and then Sandro kisses Bash. It's super unexpected. Neither one of them thought it was going to happen, and Sandro is mortified. He's very worried that Bash is going to tell everybody his secret, and he doesn't know what to do. And Bash is super confused because he liked it, and he doesn't know what to do with that. He doesn't know how to handle it because he likes Sandro. Sandro is his friend, but he's not gay. He likes girls, doesn't he? But he really liked kissing him. So this is a great story about a boy that's trying to figure out who he is. Is he gay? Is he bisexual? Is he straight? He doesn't know. He really loves this guy as a friend, or is it more? And then there's Sandro, who is also trying to figure out who he is. He thought he had it figured out, and now all of a sudden, he's not sure what his life plan is anymore. So it's very much like Heartstopper in that way. This book I would definitely recommend for high school. There are some scenes in here that are definitely about exploring and higher level. So the long run, highly, highly recommend. It was probably my favorite of all the books I read today. So that's what I have for you today. Hopefully there's something in here that you want to pick up. You can place them on hold. They are all available digitally on our platforms as well. You can come on in, grab them, and I have a lot more to recommend if none of these really look good to you, but you still are a Heartstopper fan. See you next time.